are going to revise circulatory system. This doubt has come. Now, in circulatory system, what we will be learning is different types of circulatory system. See, understand here in different types of circulatory system means we will be learning how it is happening in certain different kinds of organism and how it is happening in human being. Okay, but if you see circulatory system, it is mainly of two types: open circulatory system and closed circulatory system. Open circulatory system you find mainly in certain lower group of organisms. We call them in general invertebrates who do not have vertebral column or backbone. That you will be learning in detail in higher grades. But if you see vertebrates, okay, we include here Pisces, amphibians, reptiles, mammals and aves. Okay, this different classes you will learn in higher grade in detail. We will be talking today about Pisces, which are nothing but the fish, okay, and human being, which are coming under mammals. If you talk about fish, it has circulation which is single circulatory system or single circulation, while in humans it is of double circulation. This differences also we will see in detail. But before we go to that, I tell you what are the importance of circulatory system. Why should we learn that? Okay, so this circulatory system, if you see, you need it because the circulatory system is also called transport system. What do we need to transport? For example, you are taking food in, that is being digested. We say it is converted into absorbable form, which are in a molecular form. Okay, for example, you are digesting starch, it is converted into glucose. But this glucose has to reach to different part of your body, to different cells of your body, where this glucose is being broken down with the help of oxygen. So we need oxygen also, we need a glucose also. So how this glucose is being transported? Again, it is absorbed in your small intestine, then with the help of blood vessels, or you can say your transport system, your circulatory system is carrying it to different part of your body. Other than this, your gaseous exchange I am saying because oxygen has to go inside your body and carbon dioxide has to come outside of your body. This oxygen, if you see, it is reaching ultimately through your nostril up to alveoli region where gaseous exchange will take place, diffusion will happen, and then the red blood cells which are present in your blood will carry this oxygen because they have hemoglobin. So hemoglobin will carry this oxygen to different part of your body up to cell level. In a cell, glucose is there which is being broken down. So here you know this glucose is being transported, this oxygen is being transported with the help of your circulatory. Other than this, if you talk about endocrine system, it is totally dependent on blood, or you can say your circulatory system, because endocrine system is totally ductless. Duct meant without any tube. Its site of origin and site of action is totally different. For example, your growth hormone is secreted in your pituitary gland present just below your hindbrain. So this hormone has to reach to different part of your body. For example, this growth hormone has to reach up to your leg region because it is not only your brain is growing, today all body parts are growing. So how is this being transported? Again, with the help of transport system, circulatory system. Now, other than this, you know that in our body metabolic reactions are happening. Metabolic reaction is composed of catabolic reaction and anabolic reaction. Building of bigger molecule with the help of smaller molecule, as well as breakdown of bigger molecule into smaller one. So due to this metabolic reaction, certain metabolic waste is also being released. So that has to be removed from our body. This removal of waste is also happening with the help of your transport system, circulatory system. Okay. Other than this, your body temperature is also being maintained with the help of your blood circulation, again your circulatory system. So with this you can list down what are the applications or importance of your circulatory system. You can say it is for transportation of nutrients digested in your digestive system. It is for gases exchange. It is for maintaining body temperature. And one more thing, it is also important to fight against certain diseases or to develop your immunity or immune system, because your white blood cells are also present in blood only. Okay, so these things are being transported from one part of your body to different part of your body with the help of transport system, circulatory system. So now, children, we will do one by one each component of this circulatory system. Okay. So, children, components of the circulatory system. Here, first and major part is heart, which is the pumping organ, pumping blood to different part of the body. Second is blood, which carries different components, includes red blood cells, white blood cell, platelets and plasma. Majority of this blood, majority of this blood is water only. The third one is blood vessel. Blood vessels we will do in detail. You will be learning three types of blood vessels, which includes arteries, veins and capillaries. Okay. Now, if you talk about circulatory system, first we will be discussing about the circulation in fish. If you talk about the circulatory system in fish, it is showing single circulation. Okay? Single circulation means here blood flows only and only once in the heart in entire circuit of this blood circulation. It includes one ventricle, one atrium. So you can see here, this is showing the gill part of the fish where blood capillaries are there. What happens here? The oxygen which is dissolved in water, oxygen dissolved in water is absorbed, or you can say carried by the blood which is present in the gill part, which is very thin membrane, and oxygen is diffusing in. So here this blood comes to this gills, then to different part of the body. You can see here, this is the systemic capillaries, which means how the oxygenated blood is reaching to different cells or part of the body. After that, it is deoxygenated, which will be carried by with the help of this veins, and it is reaching to this atrium part, from atrium to the ventricle with the help of valve, prevent the backflow. Then this deoxygenated blood is reaching to the gill part, which shows gill capillaries over here. This gill capillaries again absorbs oxygen, and this oxygenated blood is coming to the different part of the cells. This is showing only and only single circulation in fish. Okay. Now we will talk about double circulation, which is taking place in human. Okay, children, now if we show this as human heart, so it is having four chambers: right atrium, right ventricle, left atrium, left ventricle. Remember here, since it has four chamber heart, it is preventing intermixing of the blood. Apart from that, it is also maintaining the pressure to different blood vessels as well as different chambers of the heart. Now, this blood goes twice through the heart in a single circuit or circulation of the blood. That is why it is called double circulation. In human beings or in mammals, this circulation is said to be double circulation. How come? First, from heart, this blood is going to the lungs, is going to the lungs. So you can see here from heart, it goes to the lungs, and then from lungs, it is coming back to the heart. So this is said to be one circulation, which is said to be pulmonary circulation, because this circulation takes place in the lungs to the heart, or you can say heart to lungs and lungs to the heart. After that, this oxidized blood or oxygenated blood is going from heart to different body parts, which is called systemic circulation. It's called systemic circulation. From heart to different body parts, and from different body part to the heart again. If you see here, the circulation is taking place twice. This is said to be pulmonary circulation, and this is said to be systemic circulation. Okay, so since blood flows twice through the heart in a single circuit of blood circulation, this is called double circulation. So children, now we can see how blood is flowing in the human heart. So this is the vena cava, which is inferior vena cava, bringing blood from lower body part. This is superior vena cava, which is bringing blood from upper body part. Now, this blood is coming inside this right atrium, Once it is completely filled, this atrioventricular valve will open. It is having three flaps, so it is also called tricuspid valve. So once this valve opens, this reaches to the right ventricle, You can see right hand side of the heart carries deoxygenated blood. Now from here, this deoxygenated blood will be carried by pulmonary artery. This is the pulmonary artery, which carries blood to the lungs. Okay, this bifurcation is to show that the pulmonary artery will be distributing blood to their respective lungs, right and left lungs. Once this blood, deoxygenated blood, reaches to the lungs, where it is going to get oxidized, after that, oxygenated blood with the help of pulmonary vein, you can see here the pulmonary vein, which carries oxygenated blood to the left atrium. Now, there is presence of valve which is bicuspid in nature. This valve is also called mitral valve or bicuspid valve. This will open and the oxygenated blood will reach to the Now, this mitral valve will open and oxygenated blood will reach into left. Now, you can see here this muscle wall which is there, it is quite thicker than this right ventricle. And see why so? Because it has to increase pressure, it has to send pressurized blood so that oxygenated blood can reach to distal part of the body. Now, this blood from left ventricle, it will go to different part of the body through this semilunar valve. Remember, this pulmonary artery and this aorta, this is called aorta, carries semilunar valve. Now, this oxygenated blood will go to different part of the body with the help of this aorta. Aorta is the biggest artery which carries oxygenated blood to different part of the body. Okay, children, this is about heart. Now we will talk about blood vessels. This references comes in exam. So arteries have very thick wall. Okay, arteries have thick wall compared to veins. Suppose this is the artery. This has thick wall, while veins have very thin wall compared to artery. So this wall nature, if you see, is very thin in veins and it is thick in artery. Apart from this, if you see the lumen, or you can say diameter of this artery and veins, so you will find this lumen is bigger, okay, in veins, while it is smaller lumen in arteries. Or you can say diameter of artery is lesser than the diameter of the lumen. Now, if you see the longitudinal section, or you can say the vertical section, you will not find presence of valve in arteries. So here, no valve. Okay, while here in veins you will find presence of valve. Okay, you will find presence of valve in this. Valves are present in veins. Okay, other than this, you will find arteries carries high pressure, or you can say more pressure in blood, while here low pressure blood is going or flowing through the veins. Remember, arteries carries blood from heart to body parts or different body parts, while veins carry blood from body parts to the heart. Okay, one more thing, arteries carry oxidized blood. Okay, arteries carry oxygenated blood, while here veins carry deoxygenated blood. Okay, it carries deoxygenated blood. Okay, other than this, you need to understand pulmonary artery is the exceptional case which carries deoxygenated blood, and pulmonary vein is the exceptional case which carries oxygenated blood. Okay, now if you talk about capillaries, capillaries are very thin walled, you can say single cell for easy for easy diffusion. Okay, children, now we will talk about different components of blood, which includes red blood cell, white blood cell, platelets, and plasma. Here, red blood cells carry oxygen because it has presence of hemoglobin. Now, this hemoglobin is combining with oxygen to form oxyhemoglobin, and it is circulating it to different part of the body on each and every cell wherever it is required through blood vessels. This is the white blood cells which has presence of nucleus. Remember, red blood cells which is biconcave disc shape, it doesn't have nucleus to increase surface area for more absorption of oxygen. White blood cells, they are helpful in fighting against diseases or pathogen. It shows phagocytosis, wherein this pathogen is being engulfed by this white blood cell. Now, if you talk about platelets, they are the fragments of the cells only. What they do, they are helpful in preventing the excess blood loss. For example, if this is our blood vessel and if there is some injury, so what happens, to prevent this blood loss, this platelets, they assemble over here and form the clot with the help of the protein named fibrinogen, which is there, is forming fibrin, which is nothing but the network like structure which prevents the flow of blood from the blood vessels during any kind of injury. And then this straw colored structure which is there is the plasma, which is helpful or carry different kinds of nutrients in the blood, as well as the fluid called lymphatic fluid, which is discuss about different components of the circulatory system. Just to recap this structure of heart, I will repeat again. This is your right atrium, this right ventricle, this left atrium, left ventricle. They have presence of valve. Right atrium and right ventricle have tricuspid valve because it has three flaps. Here, this left atrium and left ventricle will have bicuspid valve because it has two flaps only. It is also called mitral valve. The valve present in pulmonary artery and aorta is called semilunar valve, or they are tricuspid in nature. Remember, these are the partition, or you can say septum. Okay, plural form of that is septa, to prevent intermixing of the blood. Again, deoxygenated blood comes into right atrium, from right atrium to right ventricle, from right ventricle to pulmonary artery, their respective lungs, where it is getting oxygenated. Now, after oxidation, blood comes with the help of pulmonary vein to the left atrium, from left atrium to left ventricle. Now, highly pressurized blood will be carried forwarded to different part of the body with the help of aorta through this semilunar valve. Okay, so this is all about the circulatory system, and this is about heart. Since we know this heart is made up of cardiac muscle, these muscles are working 24 by 7, so they are also in need of some kind of energy, also in need of oxygen. So, who is giving all these things? So, this is the coronary artery and right and left hand side. This coronary artery is responsible for supplying blood to the heart. Though it is continuously supplying lots of blood, but it is in need of very less amount of blood. Okay. Now, what we have to remember here is, if this heart is not getting optimum supply of blood to coronary artery, remember here, so this heart cannot function. Okay, heart cannot function. So here what you need to understand is, this blockage is mainly related to lifestyle diseases. Okay, when we consume lots of fatty food, or you can say highly energized food. Okay, okay, so this blockage of the artery takes place. Suppose if this is the coronary artery which is supplying blood to the heart, this has this much lumen for blood flow, but due to deposition of cholesterol, due to deposition of cholesterol, suppose this is the cholesterol deposition, what will happen here? This lumen has become narrow. So this is stopping, or you can say cutting, the supply of blood to the heart, and due to that, this deposition, what we also call it as plaque. Okay, this plaque or deposition is hindering the flow of the blood, and we are getting CHT. coronary heart disease. So to prevent this, we need to change our lifestyle. Okay. For example, you need to do regular exercise to prevent this CHD. Okay. We have to consume less energy food, or you can say less junk food. Apart, this is how you can prevent this CHDs or coronary heart diseases. Okay, because if it is not going to be prevented, what will happen? There may be surgery in which there can be bypass, another part of the blood vessel or artery will be joined here so that blood will flow. This is the revision for circulatory system. Then also for further doubts, you can definitely ask. We can add more things into it. Okay, thank you.